Step back in time and feast your eyes on legendary American trucks you've likely never seen up close. These vintage machines defined eras, pushed engineering to its limits, and became icons long before modern pickups existed. From hand-built giants of the 1950s to pioneering crew cabs that conquered the rails, these rigs were more than metal and engines. They're rolling pieces of history, each with a story so wild and unique you'd swear it belongs in a museum. Buckle up, because this isn't just a history lesson, it's a journey through the golden era of American trucking, where every truck tells a tale of innovation, grit, and pure horsepower. Before the pickup became an American icon, there was one truck that changed everything: the 1925 Ford Model T Runabout with pickup body. This wasn't just another Model T, it was the first factory-built pickup designed to turn ordinary motorists into mobile farmers, tradesmen, and entrepreneurs, and it laid the foundation for every Ford F-Series that followed. For nearly 2 decades, Model T buyers who wanted a truck had to either build a wooden box themselves or rely on conversion kits. In 1925, Ford solved the problem with the Runabout pickup, a standard roadster with the rear turtle deck removed and a steel bed bolted on at the factory. At just $281, it was the most affordable motorized work vehicle in the world, putting industrial-grade hauling power into the hands of everyday Americans. Under the hood, in the 177 cubic inch L-head inline 4 produced 20 horsepower at 1,600 RPM, mated to a 2-speed planetary transmission controlled by 3 floor pedals. Brave drivers could push it to 40 to 45 miles per hour, while the 100-inch wheelbase and 56 by 40.75-inch steel bed made it perfectly suited for early 20th century hauling. Later, 1926 to 27 models added a battery and electric starter, plus demountable rims, giving drivers the convenience of modern innovation while keeping the rugged simplicity intact. Key features cemented the Runabout pickup's legendary status. Its adjustable tailgate with heavy-duty chains set a standard for functionality that has endured for a century. The buggy-style transverse leaf springs absorbed the massive ruts of dirt roads, and the 3-pedal system with a column-mounted throttle made every drive a true mechanical experience. The Model T Runabout pickup is rare and legendary for several reasons. It was the first true light truck, proving that vehicles could combine personal mobility with work capability. Factory-built 1925 pickups are exceptionally scarce, as most were used until they literally disintegrated on farms. The 1926-27 redesign, featuring a taller radiator and streamlined hood, represents the peak of Henry Ford's original vision, blending practicality with style. Beyond engineering, it motorized America, replacing horse and wagon and enabling farmers to bring goods to market faster than ever before. When the highway demanded power, precision, and style, one truck answered like no other: the Peterbilt 359. From 1967 to 1987, it didn't just move freight, it defined what it meant to be an elite owner-operator, blending raw capability with craftsmanship that turned every mile into a statement. Introduced as the successor to the 351, the 359 debuted with a wider cab and long, square hood built to house the era's most powerful diesel engines. Aluminum cabs and hoods reduced weight and prevented rust, giving drivers more payload capacity. The iconic 1100 series cab, with its narrow, high-mounted stance and piano-hinged doors, became instantly recognizable on highways across the nation. In 1987, Peterbilt ended production with the numbered 359 models, each carrying a brass dash plate. Today, these are highly coveted by collectors. Engine options included Caterpillar 1693 and 3406A/B, Cummins Big Cam, and Detroit Diesel 8V92 units, ranging from 250 to 600 plus horsepower in custom builds. Transmissions featured Eaton Fuller 13, 15, or 18 speeds, or Spicer 5x4 two-stick setups. Hood lengths range from the 119-inch standard to the legendary 127-inch extended version, paired with riveted aluminum cabs and dual round or rectangular headlights depending on the year. Key features reinforced its status as the king of the highway. The late-model Corvette dash wrapped around the driver in a cockpit-style layout with a forest of Stewart Warner gauges. The extended hood, dual chrome Christmas tree air cleaners, and deep, glossy Peterbilt red established its unmistakable visual signature. Its legendary reputation comes from design, rarity, and cultural impact. The one of 359 classics represent the pinnacle of the large car movement, long, high-spec trucks built to show a driver's status and independence. As the last of the purely mechanical kings before electronic engines arrived, the 359 can still be serviced entirely with wrenches and screwdrivers. A true mechanic's truck. Few trucks don't just move freight, they define an era. The Kenworth W900A isn't just a semi, it's the embodiment of the long-nose conventional, a rolling icon of American trucking that shaped the image of the highway for generations. Produced from 1961 to 1982, the W900A perfected the long hood look and offered limitless customization. While tens of thousands were built, finding an original unmodified A model today is exceptionally rare, as these rigs were heavily used, hand-tailored, and fiercely prized by drivers. The W in W900 stands for Edgar K. Worthington, one of Kenworth's founders. The W900A followed the original 900 series, introducing a narrow radiator and a high-mounted cab, giving drivers the coveted king-of-the-road perspective. Special editions like the 1976 Bicentennial 5IT, which introduced the first stand-up sleeper called the Coffee Shop, became legendary. The series concluded in 1982 with the transition to the W900B, whose rectangular headlights and taller hood instantly made the round headlight A model a collector's dream. Engine options included Cummins Big Cam 290, 350 or 400, Caterpillar 1693 or 3406A, and Detroit Diesel 8V92, producing 250 to 450 plus horsepower. Transmissions range from Eaton Fuller Road Ranger 13 or 15 speeds to Spicer 4x4 twin-stick setups. The standard hood measured 120 inches BBC with steel or lightweight aluminum frame rails and the signature 7-inch round headlights completing the look. The W900A's legendary status comes from a combination of pop culture fame, engineering longevity, and pure highway mystique. From starring in BJ and the Bear and Smokey and the Bandit to defining the large car culture, it remains a symbol of the independent trucking era. Original, rust-free A models that retain their factory components are extraordinarily rare, making them the holy grail for collectors and enthusiasts alike. In a world where most trucks are built for efficiency, the Autocar DC 100 was forged for absolute dominance. This wasn't a vehicle you bought for convenience, it was a statement, a machine handcrafted to survive the harshest construction sites, quarries, and logging camps America has ever seen. Autocar, founded in 1897, is the oldest surviving motor vehicle brand in the Western Hemisphere. By the mid-20th century, it abandoned cars and light trucks to focus solely on heavy-duty work, earning the reputation as the world's finest heavy-duty trucks. Acquired by the White Motor Company in 1953, Autocar became the elite division, reserved for the most extreme, specialized applications. The DC series, including the DC99, DC100, and DC103, represented the pinnacle of this craftsmanship from the 1950s through the 1980s. Each truck was built in Exton, Pennsylvania, by artisans who often spent their entire careers perfecting every unit. Specifications were never standard. Every truck was custom ordered. Engine options included Cummins NH220 to NTC400 or Detroit Diesel 671 and 8V71. Frames were heat-treated alloy steel, often double or triple framed for extreme durability. Fuller Road Ranger or Specialized Spicer main and auxiliary transmissions paired with Timken or Rockwell planetary axles. The massive flat-front radiator spanned over 1,000 square inches, designed to keep even the most grueling engines cool under heavy workloads. What makes the DC100 legendary today is its combination of rarity, performance, and hand-built exclusivity. The fleet owners in the 1960s and 70s paid top dollar for these trucks, the Rolls-Royce of vocational trucks, because they were expected to withstand the harshest environments. Many DC100s were used in quarries, oil fields, and logging camps until they were literally worn to the frame. Some trucks are built to haul loads, others to make statements, but the Diamond Reo C116 was built to do both with authority. This is the truck that turns heads before it even moves, a handcrafted masterpiece of American heavy-duty engineering forged during the final golden years of independent truck manufacturing. Diamond Reo was born in 1967 when Diamond T, the Cadillac of trucks, merged with Reo, founded by Ransom E. Olds. Their flagship, the C116, represented the peak of long-nose conventionals, a high-spec, owner-operator dream built for power, prestige, and precision. By the mid-1970s, as the company faced bankruptcy, the C116 had already secured its legendary status. A handful of giant models hand-built in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, carried the line into the 1980s, creating some of the rarest trucks in American history. The C116's 116-inch BBC frame housed engines like the Cummins NTC 350/400, Caterpillar 3406, and Detroit Diesel 8V71/8V92, delivering 250 to 450 plus horsepower. Transmissions included Fuller Road Ranger 10, 13, or 15 speeds, often paired with Spicer auxiliary setups. High-tensile steel or aluminum frames and Royal X composite or aluminum cabs ensured maximum strength with minimal weight. Its massive diamond grille and long sloping hood gave it a commanding presence, while interiors brought car-level luxury. Wood-grain dash panels, plush seating, and soundproofing that made even the longest hauls comfortable. Lightweight construction allowed more payload without compromising the sleek, long-nose design. The C116 is legendary because it was never mass-produced. Each unit was hand-assembled. It was built to endure the toughest conditions while offering unmatched comfort. Drivers called it the world's best truck, and surviving models, including the rare Harrisburg Giants, remain some of the most sought-after collector pieces in the world. Every restored C116 is more than a truck. It's a testament to an era when American heavy-duty trucks were both art and engineering marvels. When you think of the ultimate symbol of vintage American trucking, nothing dominates the imagination like the white Freightliner cabover. This wasn't just a truck, it was a revolutionary machine that redefined efficiency on the highways during the golden age of trucking, proving that innovation could be both practical and legendary. The story begins in 1951, when Freightliner, originally a private fleet builder for Consolidated Freightways, partnered with White Motor Company to sell their trucks under the White Freightliner badge. At the time, US length laws limited the overall size of tractor-trailer rigs. By placing the cab directly over the engine, the White Freightliner shortened the tractor, allowing for longer, more profitable trailers without breaking the law. When engine options range from Cummins NTC290 and NTC350 models to Detroit Diesel 8V71 and 8V92 Silver 92 engines, with Caterpillar options also available. Horsepower spanned from 250 to over 450, while Fuller Road Ranger transmissions offered 9, 10, 13, or 15 speeds. Chassis were built from heat-treated aluminum or steel, with 4x2 or 6x4 tandem axle configurations. The truck's defining features were as functional as they were iconic. The cab tilted a full 90 degrees, giving mechanics complete access without disassembling panels. The double Eagle sleeper raised long-haul comfort to new heights, while lightweight aluminum components across radiators, transmissions, and fuel tanks kept the rig lean without compromising durability. Its flat-faced design and vertical exhaust stacks became the visual shorthand for American long-haul trucking in the 1960s and 70s. Today, white Freightliner cabovers are rare survivors, not because few were made, but because they were worked relentlessly. Many trucks logged over 1 million miles before being scrapped, leaving original examples nearly impossible to find. Aluminum cabs resisted rust, but could suffer stress cracking over decades of highway vibration, making intact units mechanical miracles. When toughness met precision, the Brockway 361 stood unmatched. Introduced in 1965, this legendary husky wasn't just built to work, it was built to dominate the harshest roads and heaviest loads, earning the title Most Rugged Truck in the World from Overdrive magazine in 1968. Brockway's roots trace back to 1912, evolving from a carriage shop into a specialized truck maker. After Mack Trucks acquired the brand in 1956, Brockway retained its hand-built quality and rugged engineering. The 361 debuted as part of the 300 series, featuring a setback front axle for unmatched maneuverability in tight urban and industrial spaces. By 1977, Brockway shuttered operations, making the 361 a rare relic of true vocational truck craftsmanship. Every 361 was largely built to order, as with standard Cummins NH diesels producing around 248 horsepower and options including Detroit Diesel 8V71, 8V92, or select Caterpillar engines. Fuller 5-speed manuals paired with the innovative Husky Drive system, a high-torque 2-speed rear axle letting drivers switch between power and economy on the fly. The all-steel chassis added extreme durability, often weighing roughly 2,000 pounds more than competitors of the era. The iconic Husky hood ornament, sometimes joined by dual mascots on Husky Drive models, became a symbol of reliability. Customers could tour the Cortland, New York plant to witness the hand assembly process, ensuring every bolt and panel met exacting standards. The Brockway 361 isn't just a truck, it's a testament to an era when craftsmanship, durability, and pride defined the ultimate workhorse. Many outlived their vocational roles by decades, and surviving examples are exceptionally rare. Its cultural mark lives on in the 1978 film Convoy, where a white 361 tipped over on camera, immortalizing its rugged, real-world character. Few trucks in American history have commanded respect like the Ford LTL 9000, a long-hood powerhouse built to dominate the highway and redefine what a heavy-duty rig could be. This wasn't just a truck, it was Ford's bold statement that it could compete with the legends of long-haul trucking, offering owner-operators unmatched power, presence, and prestige. Introduced in 1976 at Ford's Louisville, Kentucky plant as part of the Louisville line, the LTL 9000 was a top-of-the-line long-hood flagship. Its 118-inch BBC, bumper-to-back of cab, gave it a commanding stance, while engineering choices were focused on long-haul performance, durability, and driver comfort. Engine options included Cummins NTC 400 and NTC 444 diesels, Detroit Diesel 60 series, and Caterpillar 3406B/C engines, producing 350 to over 500 horsepower. Eaton Fuller Road Ranger transmissions offered 9, 10, 13, 15, or 18 speeds. The high-tensile steel frame, with optional double-framed heavy-haul configurations and a set-forward front axle, provided strength and the signature long-nose profile. The LTL 9000's visual impact was unmistakable. Its massive square chrome grille, rectangular headlights, and extended fiberglass hood projected power, while Aeromax sleepers added high-roof luxury rivaling premium competitors. Aluminum cab panels minimized rust, enhancing the truck's durability across decades of use. What makes the LTL 9000 legendary today is its rarity and pristine condition, and its status as a symbol of Ford's bold, heavy truck era. Many were used for the most demanding work: logging, heavy machinery hauling, and long-haul freight, driven until worn out. With Ford exiting the heavy truck market in 1997, no new LTL 9000s were made, cementing its place as a finite icon of American trucking engineering. Some trucks aren't just built to move, they're built to endure. The Western Star 4900 is one of those machines, a handcrafted heavy-duty workhorse that has dominated some of the harshest industries in North America for over 50 years. From logging roads carved into the Pacific Northwest mountains to oil fields and mining operations across rugged terrain, this truck wasn't designed to impress. It was designed to perform, day in and day out, mile after mile. Debuting in 1967 as the very first model from Western Star, originally white Western Star, the 4900 set the standard for durability and customizability. Every truck was largely hand-assembled, built to meet the specific needs of logging, mining, oil, and other vocational operations. Over the decades, it evolved through iterations like the long-hood 4900EX and the low-profile 4900 Low Max, integrating modern engines, advanced safety systems, and updated driver comfort features, all while staying true to its rugged, iconic design. The 490's versatility is unmatched. Engine options range from Detroit DD13, DD15, and DD16 to Cummins X12 and X15 models, delivering 350 to over 600 horsepower. Transmission choices include Eaton Fuller manuals up to 18-speed and Allison or Eaton automatics. Drivetrains are configurable in 4x2, 6x4, 4x4, and 6x6 layouts, while the durable galvannealed steel cab and double-channeled frame rails provide unmatched toughness. From wide 90-degree hood openings for easy serviceability to luxurious sleepers like the 82-inch Stratosphere, the 4900 balances operator comfort with extreme capability. The Western Star 4900 isn't legendary for rarity, but for its proven longevity, dependability, and rugged, customizable design that made it the truck of choice for owner-operators, and a lasting symbol of American industrial strength. Before flashy pickups and modern workhorses, there was a truck that didn't just get the job done, it owned every job it touched. The International Harvester Loadstar wasn't rare or exotic, it was everywhere, quietly powering America's farms, fire departments, schools, and local businesses from 1962 to 1978. Its legacy isn't measured in scarcity, it's measured in sheer reliability, versatility, and the thousands of miles it logged, hauling everything imaginable. Introduced for the 1963 model year, the Loadstar bridged the gap between light-duty pickups and heavy-duty haulers. With a stout, configurable chassis, it could be outfitted as a dump truck, utility hauler, bus chassis, or even a fire engine. Power came from International Harvester's own engines, including the durable IHV8 gasoline line and inline-6 diesels, each delivering 130 to over 230 horsepower. Transmission options range from 4- and 5-speed manuals to up to 10-speed manuals or automatics, making it flexible for any vocational need. Gross vehicle weight ratings spanned 18,200 pounds up to 50,000 pounds with trailers, emphasizing just how much work this truck could shoulder. Early models featured a distinctive short butterfly hood with side-opening panels for easy engine access, later supplemented by a full tilting fiberglass hood in 1972. The The short hood also gave drivers excellent visibility, essential for maneuvering tight city streets, farms, or construction sites. Known for mechanical simplicity, heavy-duty components, and longevity, many Loadstars remain in service today, decades after they first rolled off the assembly line. The International Harvester Loadstar is legendary not for rarity, but for being a durable, hard-working backbone of American industry that kept communities, schools, and farms running for a generation. When a truck can carry a ton of cargo, a family, and a piece of Americana all at once, you know it's legendary. The 1951 Chevrolet 3100 is the blueprint for every classic Chevy truck that followed, embodying post-war innovation and American grit. After World War II, trucks were cramped and utilitarian. Chevrolet changed the game with the Advanced Design series, introducing wider, lower cabs that could comfortably seat 3 adults across. By 1951, Chevrolet refined the formula. Pull-handle doors replaced the old rotating handles. Ventipanes appeared in the doors for better airflow, and the chrome vertical bar grille reached its final, brilliant iteration before post-Korean War material shortages forced changes. That year, Chevrolet produced over 400,000 trucks. Was making the 3100 the backbone of suburban expansion and the nation's farms. The 3100 came with the legendary Thriftmaster 216.5 cubic inch inline 6, producing 92 horsepower at 3,400 RPM and 176 pound-feet of torque between 1,000 and 2,000 RPM. Drivers controlled it through a 3-speed column shift manual or optional 4-speed floor shift. Several design features made the 1951 3100 extraordinary. The rare 5-window deluxe cab added curved rear corner windows to reduce blind spots, now the holy grail for collectors. Ventipanes improved airflow without wind buffeting, and the valve-in-head Stovebolt 6 engine offered low RPM torque so trucks could haul heavy loads without stalling. Its legendary status comes from a combination of rarity and cultural impact. Genuine 5-window deluxe cabs are exceedingly rare, representing a premium option in a field dominated by basic 3-window trucks. The 1951 model also marks the last year for the iconic chrome grille before wartime restrictions changed production. Its silhouette, the rounded fenders, bull-nose hood, and balanced proportions became the default classic truck image, copied endlessly in logos, advertising, and art. Most survivors have been heavily modified or restored, making untouched factory original 3100s almost mythical among collectors. Long before crew cabs were a showroom standard, GMC built a machine so specialized it could carry 6 men over dirt, snow, and steel rails at the same time. Welcome to the 1957 to 1962 GMC Crew Cab Railroad Truck, the unsung hero of American railroads. These weren't built for suburban drives or weekend hauls. They were designed for the extremes, taking workers where no standard pickup could go. In the 1950s, if a railroad needed a 6-man vehicle, they had 2 choices: cobble together a custom cab from separate vehicles or pay GMC to build one from the ground up. Enter the Blue Chip series, 1957 to 1959, and the early 1960s F-series. These trucks were sold exclusively through special equipment orders and mounted on heavy-duty GMC 370 or 450 chassis. Equipped with Fairmont high-rail guide wheels, and some even drove directly onto train tracks to repair lines in the most remote areas. Power came from GMC's legendary 302 cubic inch inline 6 or the 347 V8, paired with a Clark 5-speed manual or specialized Allison automatic transmission. Many featured Napco 4x4 conversions for extreme off-road capability. The heavy-duty frames ranged from 1.5 to 2.5 tons, carrying crews of 6 adults in comfort, while PTO-driven winches, service bodies, and tool cabinets turned each truck into a fully equipped mobile workshop. Key features set these trucks apart. The 4-door 6-man cab offered rear suicide or custom-fabricated doors long before consumer pickups adopted the design. Wraparound big window glass gave maximum visibility for dangerous terrain. Utility beds replaced standard boxes, packed with welding gear, air compressors, and maintenance tools tailored to each railroad's needs. These trucks are rare and legendary for a reason. They weren't pampered, they were worked to death, often left to rot in sub-zero mountain passes. Surviving examples are scarcer than vintage Ferraris. They pioneered the concept of a work crew vehicle, directly influencing today's Ford F-250 and GMC Sierra crew cabs. And there you have it! The rarest, most legendary American vintage trucks that shaped the roadways and captured the imagination of generations. Whether it's a hand-built 1950s giant, a pioneering crew cab, or a one-of-a-kind collector's dream, these rigs remind us why trucks aren't just vehicles, they're icons. If you loved this journey through trucking history, hit that like button, share it with fellow enthusiasts, subscribe for more deep dives into the world of extreme and vintage machines, and drop a comment telling us which truck blew your mind the most. Keep the engines running, because the road of legends never ends.